What's up, friends? Let's talk through our February 2026 Maryland housing market update. If we haven't met, my name is Chelsea Winstead. I am a home financing strategist and a mortgage broker. Key in on the strategist. A huge thing that I do with all of my clients is depending on where you want to live, what type of home you want to purchase, and specifically what your financial goals are, we go through specific information like this, but custom to you. With that said, I think it's so important that all of my clients have access to overall information to what is going on in their market and the state that they want to buy in and the city that they want to buy in. If you are new here, I would also highly recommend that you follow me along on TikTok. I am just a really big proponent of giving all of my clients a full rundown of what is going on with where they live. And this just allows you to enter the home buying scenario with more information and not to feel as shocked. Okay, so let's dive in. I'm going to go through a couple major cities that I work out of with my clients. If you are wanting me to cover a city that I did not mention in this video, please drop it in the comments and I will make sure to add that into my next recording. Okay. So as of February, let's run through. So Baltimore, median home price here right now is $218,000. Year over year price change is actually up 3.8%. So home prices have gone up in this area. Days on market is about 65%, days on market is about 65 days. And the inventory level for current homes is about 3 to 3.5 months. Big picture, most markets that are truly balanced have about 6 months of inventory. So when we see any inventory that's less than that, that can actually lean more into it being a seller's market. So with all this information added together, the market type right now in Baltimore would be considered balanced. However, there is a lot of competition with like entry level segments in this market. So homes that are priced really well do tend to be a little bit more competitive in this area. But Baltimore price growth does remain modest, which again means that it's not a full-blown buyer's market. So with home prices going up about 3.8% year over year, there's two levers. When home prices go up, that is indicative that it is going to be more of a seller's market. But the longer homes sit on the market, that is more indicative that it's going to be a buyer's market. So 3.8% year over year price change is pretty modest, but it's definitely not flat. But the days on market being 65, I would determine that this is a pretty balanced market. So what that means for you as a buyer, be ready to put in a fair offer and you can probably still get some seller credits and negotiations depending, but you're going to have to come in with a strong offer for them to consider. Okay. Now let's talk about Columbia, Maryland. So like Howard County proximity. So median home price here is about $525,000. Year over year price change is up about 1%. So pretty low growth year over year. Days on market though is between 35 and 40 days, which is fast. And the inventory here is limited. So we've only got about 2.5 months worth of inventory. Add all that together, we would consider that Columbia is going to be a competitive market because of that. This area does remain one of the tightest supply pockets in Maryland due to commuter demand. So obviously people going in and out of the city, this is a place that a lot of people want to live. We can also see that with that 30 to 40 days on the market right now is pretty fast. Okay. Frederick, Maryland. So median home price here, $432,000. Year over year price change is only up about 0.6%. So flat, slight positive growth, but pretty flat. Days on market here, 68 days. Inventory though is still low with only 2.5 to 3 months of inventory. Market here is balanced. There's some pockets of new construction here. Be wary of new construction. If we work together, I will give you the full rundown on things to just be mindful of if that is you and that you're looking at those things. Frederick, though, is transitioning from rapid appreciation to stabilization as inventory has slowly expanded. So I actually work with a lot of clients out of this area in particular. This is a sweet spot for a lot of people. Okay, Silver Spring, Maryland. Median home price here, $539,000. Year over year price change is actually down 1.2%. So anytime we see year over year price changes go down, huge indicator that that's a buyer's market. Days on market here, 63 days. Inventory still kind of limited, 2 to 3 months. Technically, this is still considered a balanced market. However, with days on market over 60, year over year price change coming down, I would say that buyers here are going to have some more leverage than maybe in some other places. All right. Now let's talk about Annapolis. So median home price here is about $600,000. Year over year price change is up about 1%, but it's pretty flat overall. Days on market here, 45 to 55 days, and the inventory, so we have about 3 months of a supply. This would be considered a balanced market, but inventory has slightly improved. However, waterfront and luxury segments here still do move really quickly. Now, statewide, when we talk about Maryland, just overall, year-over-year price change across the entire state is up 2.2%. So not massive growth, but kind of on par with historical numbers. Homes for sale, now get this, we have 16.1% more homes for sale this year than we did this time last year. Median days on market across the entire state is about 60 days, which I would actually say is a normal amount. Like when the market was hot, 30 days was the norm. I would actually say 60 days is more of a normal amount. So that's a pretty balanced number, I would say. But the inventory trend rising is definitely going to help you as a buyer if you are looking to purchase in Maryland this year. All right. So overall, what we're seeing in Maryland, we're not seeing cooling in the same way that we maybe would see in places like Florida because of just kind of the craziness happening there. But we are seeing price growth slowing. We are seeing inventory increase. We are seeing more buyers spread outward. So most markets are sitting within that 2 to 3 month zone supply, which that means that overall in Maryland, we have a lot of balance. And so it's really critical that if you want to get the most bang for your buck, if you want to save the most money, if you want to get the most negotiation power, you really need to make sure that you have a strategy in place well before you get a pre-approval, well before you are out there actually touring homes. The way that you do that is by putting together a team of people who know what the hell they are talking about. So that way you are set up to navigate this process with as much ease and confidence as possible. For a personalized strategy with me and my team, if you look below this video, you're going to see multiple links. Click on the link that is most in alignment with who you are as a person, and we will reach out personally to kick off and run some numbers together, make a plan together, and ultimately make sure that you have the best strategy that you possibly can when you enter the home buying market. All right. I'll see you guys next month for our March Maryland update.